Greetings, family, friends, and followers. It's Yate the Barber Stylist, and we're back with a lock retwist today. So, let me get this going. Y'all come on in. Happy March. Happy the beginning of Women's History Month here. Of course, we had Black History Month, which Black History is 24/7, 365 or 366 because this year's a leap year. But nonetheless, we are here. I want to thank you all for joining. Those of you who are following this wonderful Start a Lock journey with Miss Diane.
Yes.
We are preparing to do retwist number 3. And y'all know me. I got the weeks and the days. So today is actually 12, Wednesday made 12 weeks and it's 3 days. So she's been on her Start a Lock journey for 12 weeks and 3 days. And of course, y'all know I got my clipboard because I want to be intentional about this conversation. You know that it is unscripted from the standpoint of I don't know what she's going to say. She don't know what I'm going to say, but we're going to make this work. I do have some things that I want to discuss as it relates to Locked and Loaded Start a Lock Journey Journal. It's a 12-month journal that takes someone from the beginning of the locks all the way through the first 12 months of their, I guess you would call, process. So I do want to discuss some of the things that Miss Tora Butler Thomas speaks on in there and present some ideas as well. But let's go ahead and get started. Welcome in. Hey, King, my mentor is on. I love you. Happy belated birthday. Congratulations on your award with the Barner Brothers. Well deserved. Congratulations on your New York residency, your upcoming NYC, what is it? Yeah, NY. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations on that. I'm just gonna take a minute. Because of you, I can. Because of you, I am able to do this. Because of your mentorship and training and your words of wisdom, you've been able to assist me along this process and keep me focused. And I hope you're proud of me. Thank you for what you do, not only for the lock community, the natural hair community, for the culture as well. I appreciate you. I'm trying not to cry because you do mean a lot. He is the gentleman that wrote my foreword for my book. I'm grateful for that. So we'll live in eternity. But nonetheless, I just want to say thank you. Happy birthday once again. Congratulations. Well deserved. I'm looking forward to everything that's been prepared for you, or being prepared for you. So with that, we're going to discuss Diane's third retwist. We're going to do it later, but we will always come on and we discuss the process. We discuss her thoughts, what she's discovered, what I am discovering during this process as well, because many of you know that I'm a I guess you can't say I'm newly licensed. I've been to include school license. I'm going into my second year being fully licensed. However, I went through the apprenticeship program because as a barber in South Carolina, we got to do a year apprenticeship. But I'm grateful for it all because I'm here now. I'm here. Yes. So I still consider myself fairly new because I'm under 5 years. So with that, I'm still learning things. I'm still expanding. I do continuing education, even though it's not required. So I pride myself on keeping that information or keeping current so that I may bring that info or whatever it is to my clients. And it also helps me to remain relevant, to stay informed, and to keep me going. Because this industry is ever evolving and changing. And as we know, the only thing that's constant is change. So with that, tell us what these last few weeks have been like for you.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I think there's been a lot of personal growth in the last, I'll say 4 weeks, because when I first started my locks back in, I want to say, what was that, December? Yeah, December. So between December and January, for the most part, I was at home to myself. I did go back home to New York City.
Pardon me. Hey, Denard the Barber, as well as Twin Nation. How you doing? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, so I did go back home, but I wasn't really doing anything major. This month, well, the last, I'll say 2-3 weeks, I've been interviewing for jobs.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay,
yes.
Okay, so let's hear it.
Generally, in the past, even as I transitioned to having loose curls, I would say good, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, I would still do a wash and set. I'll go to my Dominican lady that will wash and set my hair on a Sunday, and I'll schedule my interview on a Monday or Tuesday. So I still have like a straight hair look, maybe I'll say corporate look, or I guess a look that I thought was acceptable for corporate America. So that's what I have always done. And then when I get the job, I'll say 3 months later, then they'll see my hair and loose curls, which is fine. But my thing is, my mind is, let me just get in, and then they'll start seeing my natural hair, which is beautiful. It's just I didn't want that impacting their decision.
Okay. Now, and most people, I hate to use the word most, but you find that often with naturals. They change up their hairstyle, or they do something to land a job. And then within the first 90 days or so, they start shifting their regimen, shifting their hairstyle to really just let their hair down, basically, you know, and become who they are. Versus not being who they are, so they can get in. It's something that happens. It is what it is. We know the story. We know the backdrop. It's just one of those things. But to hear you speak on it, so I'm interested to know, okay, so what your thought process was, because you're getting a retwist today. So that means that you had them last, there was no retwist. So
I'm not gonna lie. I was panicking at first because it's the first time I'm going to do an interview with not just my natural hair, but in the locking process. And the last week was like towards, like, I'll say later into my lock hair.
Okay.
So I was like, or I was further away from my retwist than closer. I'll say that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So you're closer now, but you were further away.
Right.
So, okay.
Versus if I was doing so let's say if you have retwist my hair today and I was going to interview tomorrow, I would have been fine. Oh, my hair's done. You know, type of thing. Even into the first week, even second week. But I've noticed once I start getting into the third week, there's more frizz, there's more of those things. And speaking of frizz, my hair was not as frizzy this time around.
But the weather.
New York.
It wasn't. But I noticed a little bit because we've had this rain and different things too. So that impacts, and then your texture is very soft. So you're going to get that, and they're finding their way. So
yes, I did notice that. But
it still wasn't as bad. We got pictures to prove.
So at first I was panicking, but then I was like, you know what? I have no choice but. Like, okay, before we even get that part, I was panicking to the point where I was like, should I text Yate and try to get a sooner retwist? But then I was like, no, I'm not at my 4 weeks. Pushing it before 4 weeks, I think, is doing too much. I think I need to stick within 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. So I told myself.
And that's what my mentor would recommend.
You see? So
4 to 6 weeks, because there's such thing as doing too much.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about styling, too, because in the book, she ask a question about styling.
Okay.
And there's some pros and cons about that during the early phases of locking.
Okay.
So we're going to discuss that too.
Cool.
Anyway,
First thing for styling, once you retwist, I'm styled, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Good. My mentor, love to hear that.
I'm styled. I'm styled. I'm good to go. Yeah.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
that's how I feel about styling.
Gotcha.
But I am a person that's processing what is the word perfect mean, perfection, and looking a certain way. So it's not always just, okay, like for instance, if I see 5 people with different hairstyles, this person has straight hair, this person has wavy, this person has curly locks, braids. They're all beautiful.
Right.
But my eyes is, if you have a straight hairstyle, is it straight? Or is it like, that's what my mind goes to. Or if it's fully wavy, or is it some straight, or did they really get everything wavy? So that's how my mind works.
Okay.
So seeing my hair, more frizz, I'm like, okay, breathe. This is part of the process. It's not going to look perfect or look a certain way. And to be honest, we don't even know how it's going to look until it shows up. Yeah.
The locks form. Yeah, it matures. Yeah.
So that's a lot of internal conversation I had to have on the onset. And then I was like, well, we just got to do this. We committed to getting our hair locked. This is where we are. And we're just going to show up and just do our best in terms of just oiling my scalp, adding some water,
misting
it, and then calling it a day. And I really, it took a lot of work to do that because
I can feel your energy. I can feel you literally going through the process of preparing for these interviews and knowing in that headspace, oh, my hair's not done.
Because you don't know who you're talking to.
Right, and what they're thinking. So the perception of how they view you.
Yeah, especially when you're hearing the news like Texas, right?
The young
kid
man
that got suspended.
Because of his hair.
For his locks. And then they just ruled recently that it was fine, that it was legal for the school to do that, and I was just like, oh my god. Okay, so
we won't even go there.
You're not going there. But I just want to give a recent relevant situation. So I would just think if I had a kid in Texas right now, this is something we'll have to be thinking about. Madness. But speaking about the process in a week, so my fiance has had locks throughout the years, and he currently doesn't have them now, but he's familiar with the retwist and all that stuff. So he offered to make it like tight for me. But what's so funny for me, it's not the top it's not the root. It's the frizz that bothers me.
Because they're forming. Right. And it's part of the process.
Yeah, right. So I was like, you tighten at the top is not really what I need. I really need. And then I was like, and I didn't tell him this.
Okay, so y'all know what she's saying. So during the week, when she was preparing for the interview, not getting a retwist today, her fiance offered, because he's previously had locks and know what this process is about, he offered to assist her to make it look tidy, make it look neat, make it look groomed, make it look good for the interview. So her thoughts were, that's not really what I know what you're talking about, but that's not really what I need, because we got all this other stuff going on. So I want to get to the point. How were you feeling in that moment? So we got someone that's trying to provide a solution for you to meet a so-called need to look a certain way for the interview. But you like, so you warring on the inside about this. Should I look a certain way for this interview, or should I let it be and then wait for my
5 more days?
5 more days. Just 5. But we're laughing about this. But this is a real thing that many individuals go through, because wearing our natural hair, embracing our natural hair, like I said, returning back to our natural hair texture. Let's get to the point. Embracing our natural hair, it's a mental thing. It forces you to look within. It forces you to examine yourself, examine your thoughts, not only about you, your hair, your heritage, everything.
Yeah.
Our hair is a part of us. We were born with it. Okay? They knew you were going to be black and that you were going to have kinky hair before your sex was determined. For the onset of us coming into the world. In other words, this is our hair. It's our birthright to wear our hair. It really is. But anyway, go ahead, finish.
I had a lot of thoughts. So, being the recovering perfectionist that I am, I was thinking about it from two perspectives.
Okay.
Not only for the interview perspective, but from the Yate does my hair. I don't want you honestly touching my hair because I don't want you messing up her process. So I was thinking from two of those perspectives. And so, so start off with, thank you. Thank you for offering. I really appreciate that. I had a problem. You're trying to solve it. But
because being a problem solver.
Yes, I'm here for it.
He's like, I got you, baby. I got you.
I'm not gonna flash. I'm like, that sounds nice.
That sounds nice. You thought about it for a second.
But a second.
A second.
And then I was like, but how you about to do the retwist is not how Yate does it, because Yate is Yate and you're you. I'm sure it's gonna be good.
Right.
But I'm very particular, as you know, about how my hair gets cared for.
Right.
So, my commitment to how my hair is growing, one, because I was like, no.
So it took you back to your commitment to the process.
To the process, yeah.
Okay.
Because, like you said, because even when I think about when my hair is mature, right, and my locks are mature, and let's say you're traveling and I need to get my locks retwisted, I understand that the next person that does it is going to do it different from you. They might use different products. They might, and knowing me, I'll probably call you and let you when you come back, or before you go,
can you get me
in? Because
she's serious about her appointments, y'all. For real.
And I've been like this throughout my whole hair journey.
Right.
Like, see how I said I went to my Dominican lady to get my hair straightened for those interviews? I wasn't perm my hair anymore. But if I'm going to get my hair straightened or washed, I'm going to go to the person I was going to for the last how many years that I know their flow, how they cut, I
got to say this while my mentor's on. Okay, so you remember when you talked about vetting your stylist, like you vet your doctor and your dentist and your mechanic and all of those individuals? Yeah. When I first met her via phone, she made a phone call, and when I say we was on the phone for about 30 minutes, she was filling me out, asking me all kind of questions, and I was okay with it because I'm cool. I learned from the best. But it brought me back to what you said, King. Vet your stylist. Yeah. You want to know if it's a good fit, and I'm paraphrasing, if it's a good fit.
Yeah.
And she vetted me, and look, we over a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're over a year, and
plus I technically consider locking my hair for about a year with you. Technically, like
she did. She did.
So when I say I'm a recovering perfectionist, I really mean it in a lot of facets of my life, of like down to decision making, thinking, processing, really reflecting on why I want to do certain
things.
I
don't see being a perfectionist as a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's all about, like Cat Williams says, perception. So we have to understand what that means to us, and it's clear in your definition of being a perfectionist. You understand it for you.
Yeah.
And how that makes you feel.
That's good. Yeah. I'm redefining that, but I think at the core, my idea of perfection is quality, integrity in everything. So that's why when I vet my stylist, it's like you're touching
perfection, quality, and integrity in everything.
That's definitely the base. That's definitely the base for sure.
Right.
When I'm thinking about a hairstylist, it's like, hey, are you gonna take your time to take out my hair and not just cut through it? Because I could do it by myself for free. Because I'll do it myself.
Right.
But if I take the time to book you, are you gonna
take the time to take care of me?
Those types of things. Yeah, and of course, lead me in terms of like products and all those good stuff. So anyway, we know this about us, right? So So I really thought about it, but I was like, no, I really don't want to mess up or change up the process.
Okay.
You lock my hair a certain way, you retwist my hair a certain way. I don't want nobody touching it.
Just let it be.
I don't even use products that you don't say. You know, like if whatever products you have told me I can use, that's the products I use.
Okay.
So I'm really particular about that. So I was like, I guess we showing up to this interview with some frizzy hair.
So tell me this, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
Which this is the meat and the potatoes, but we're gonna delve a little deeper and put some vegetables in on this meal. So after the interview process, how did you feel afterwards?
I felt really good.
Okay.
I felt really good that I stuck to my guns and stuck to the process because I had actually 2 interviews with one company.
Okay.
You know,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I had my first interview with the founder, and then I got moved on to a panel interview, and I have another interview scheduled for next week with my retwist. So I'm excited to show them my beautiful locks, freshly done. But so it felt really good to know that they was focused on our conversation and my experience and my interests.
Which how it should be.
Yes.
Because your hair doesn't dictate whether you have the experience, the knowledge, and whatever else that they're looking for.
Absolutely.
It's what you're bringing.
Absolutely.
To the, even though your appearance, you will be the face of the company from an HR perspective.
Yeah.
Yet it's what you're bringing. They're looking at who you are, not.
Yes. And also what I noticed, speaking of perception, when I got on the interviews, because they were video interviews, looking back on the video, I'm like, my hair looks much better than I am giving it credit for on camera. It just, I see, you know how.
So it speaks to how we view ourselves.
Yes.
And sometimes we can make things bigger than what it really is.
Absolutely. So that was definitely happening.
Okay.
And also, what else?
This is good.
Yeah,
this is so good.
It was so, and then I also felt really happy that I showed up as myself.
Okay.
That I got through my first week of interviews for the first time with a natural hairstyle, because like you said, I think many people, especially if they're not familiar with the lock process, to them it's just, I have twists in my hair. Two strand twists.
Right.
So I was very proud that I went through my first interviews with a natural hairstyle.
With no maintenance on it.
No maintenance on it.
You was just doing it.
In my lock journey, and it's going well. So I was really proud that I just went through those discomfort feelings and emotions.
And that too is part of the process, because it fosters you to look deeper.
Yeah.
So what is this that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this?
Yeah.
Where are these feelings coming from? Is it outside of me or is it inside? Within. Are they coming from within? Am I allowing what society's perception on how I should look, be, act, feel?
Absolutely.
Dictate what I do in this moment.
Absolutely.
So you stay committed.
Yes.
And then it actually blossoms something inside of you to stick to your guns and say, okay, you know what? I can do this. And at the end, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes that is the case.
Yeah.
That we make things bigger than what it really is.
Absolutely.
And your hair doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all.
It doesn't.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process.
So I was really excited about that. And to your point of, I'm redefining perfection for myself. But I'm also, I think when I started my last part of the journey, because I don't know, when I decided to do it, it was more spiritual. It was, I didn't have words to why I was fully starting it. I just felt most of it. And I think now that I'm 12 weeks and 3 days
3 days in. Yep, 12 weeks and 3 days in.
Leave
it to me.
Yeah.
But I am documenting the journey, right? So
I
12 weeks and 3 days.
Yes. So I'm realizing that part of it was I wanted to define me. For so long, I have, especially with my family setup of expectations is like that. What's the word? I don't know what's the, like, black bourgeoisie type. Yeah, like
okay.
Hey.
And she's Haitian, so yeah. So you add that on top of
yeah. So like that, growing up and you know, being raised to assimilate that. And also, which is the story of most immigrants, they have their children here in America and they want their children to assimilate. They don't want them to have the same struggle that they had
Right,
with
right.
access